Our destination?
Routine reboot.
Let's go for a ride.
Welcome to Girls Trip. It's Tuesday, which means you should have started off the week liking and subscribing.
Yes.
So if you haven't do that, we'll pause for you.
Yes.
Go ahead. Press that like. Make sure you subscribe. It goes a long way to
Ring
know
that bell. Ring that bell.
that our followers are with us. But we're giving a little bit of an update since we promised one. We challenged ourselves a few weeks ago to try out a 5-step routine for a week.
Yeah.
And does anyone feel anything other than shame? Because that's mostly how I feel.
Resentment towards myself.
Resentment, good.
Yeah.
Shame, resentment.
I
What do you
had
want to
some-
add,
same
Rebecca?
I
place.
actually had some positive outcomes.
Okay, great. So you can
One
talk
of
about
them
that.
I didn't do, so I already forgot about. So we'll discuss that.
So maybe we should remind everybody what our 5 things were.
Okay. So I just jotted mine down because I was like, let me try and go through. So I, instead of just like being a normal person and was like, let's, make the bed.
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
went a little overboard.
let's change my life. And I said I was going to try to be more of a morning person than a night owl and go to bed earlier and wake up much earlier, be downstairs and like doing life already when my husband leaves for work. That was the first one. Then I had a weekly kind of chore schedule where I wanted to do laundry on Tuesdays and vacuum on Thursdays and clean the bathroom on Saturdays. Then I wanted
that alone.
That's
that
my
should
list.
have been
And
all of
shockingly-
your things.
and shockingly, that was the only one that I did well on. That was the only one I did well on. Everything else was a problem. Walking 10 minutes a day. And reading one chapter of a book, and then at night choosing to put
So exhausted.
I know you're already tired. And then at night choosing to instead of be on my phone, just be write down one thing that I was grateful for and kind of just like go to bed like that. Okay, I'm done.
Woo, I should have gone
That's
first.
today's episode.
Okay, so mine were in the morning was just to stretch and drink a glass of water, and at night to take off my makeup, clean up my like vanity night table stuff from the day, and to like fully put my clothes away.
Yeah.
Shoes, clothes, accessories, all of that kind of stuff.
All right, mine was to pick my outfits the night before, go to bed with the sink being cleaned, make the bed, take my contacts out, and have a grocery list for dinners like that week.
Kitchen sink.
Kitchen sink,
Okay.
yes.
And I most want to hear about your contacts. Is that the one you forgot about?
She
Thank
literally
God.
just
No,
didn't.
no.
Did you just not do it?
No, I did it. My
Yeah.
contacts were successfully taken out 5 nights in a row.
Amen.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Last week, I actually went to bed 2 nights in a row and forgot they were in. So
So it didn't exactly
it
establish
didn't,
a habit.
do
Right,
any sort of
right.
habit.
Okay.
This will, I think, forever be everything on this list will be a continuous.
It's going to be aspirational.
Yeah, let's say that. It's going to be work. The one thing that I did not, are we going to go into this now?
Yeah.
The one thing I did not do well was make the bed.
Which might have been the simplest of all of
It was
them.
the simplest. And I just, at halfway through the week, I almost forgot about it.
Yeah.
I did not, it's not that impactful, I guess, for me.
It's
to
just
make
so
my
not
bed.
a thing for you.
It's
Yeah.
so easy to just be like, okay, boom, boom, done.
Yeah.
I'm not tucking the sheets in or anything
Right,
like
right,
that.
right.
Yeah.
But I guess it really didn't make a difference if I made it or didn't make
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. Everything else, the dishes made my husband really happy. They did, let's see. I woke up the next morning and it is nice. There's nothing bad about having a sink empty.
Right.
It's great. But we're going to keep working on that. We're going to keep working on that to get that dopamine hit from that one. I really enjoyed how I felt in the morning picking my clothes out the night before.
Okay.
That was one that surprised me because it's not even that I'm staring in my drawers or whatever to pick something out, and it doesn't take that long. But for some reason, I was just like, I know what I'm wearing already. I can wake up when I normally wake up, but just not feel like I have to go pick something out. So I actually really like that. And it was, again, just simple, like top and bottom, give me a jacket, my shoes. So at the time it was still like chilly out. So I didn't have to worry really about like tank tops or anything like that, or layering, because if it's cold inside. So it was pretty easy. The grocery list, I did really well with that as well, shockingly. However, I feel like I have it easier than you guys because Artie will not be home twice a week because he's working. So those nights I was like, I don't have to do anything.
Girl dinner.
I can do whatever I want. So that was really nice. So I'm really cooking maybe 3 times a week. Not 3 times a week. I'm sorry. 4 times a week out of the whole week.
Yeah.
Or let's say 3 times a week, because if we get takeout or something, or we're going out or something like that. So actually that was nice to have him again. It was something simple. Unfortunately, it does take a lot of work for me to figure out what is for dinner. But once it's done and you go about your week,
That's the worst part for me.
It's the
figuring
hardest
out
part. Yeah.
what we're actually cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once I did that, I was like, oh, this is really nice. So
Yeah, it is so time consuming. I feel like by the time I find something that sounds like I'll have the energy to make it and then actually want to eat it, and I put all of the ingredients into my app to order, I feel like that took me an hour, and I'm like, oh my God, this is for one meal. I did one meal for the week, and I still have to figure out all the other days.
Yeah.
So like this is exhausting.
I do. Sorry, Joy.
I was just gonna say, I hope we do a season on that alone, like just on cooking and how to organize your life when you work.
Yeah.
And also have to feed people. Like I would love to do a deep dive on that to see what's the most efficient way to.
I mean, I feel like so many people, and this is something I've never tried, even though I've thought about it and I just haven't brought myself to do it. I might need to force myself into a challenge or something where people will do like, Tuesday taco night and Wednesday is breakfast for dinner and Friday is pizza, and like basically taking a lot of the thinking out of
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been able to.
Yeah, that puts me in a box.
Yeah.
And I'm like, absolutely not.
Sometimes Thomas and I are only eating on like 2 or 3 nights of the week at home.
Right.
So to think that I'm repeating those meals every single week, and they're usually the same nights of the week that we're eating, like almost every Tuesday night we'll be home, but then, or I'm sorry, almost every Monday night we'll be home, but then every Tuesday maybe we'll be with my mom most likely.
Right.
So just to think that every single Monday and Thursday,
Well, maybe you need
Friday,
a rotating schedule.
Yeah,
or like
something
a
more,
bi-weekly
something
or
a little
something.
bit more nuanced than just like this is this day and this is, because then we might be having I might be cooking just that
Yeah.
forever.
I just feel like mine would get out of whack all the time because there are definitely times where on a Sunday night I'll plan for like, here are the next 5 meals, but then on Wednesday something happens where it's like, I'm not going to make it home in time to cook, or actually we have plans now, and so then, but I already have those ingredients on Wednesday night. Now becomes Thursday's meal, and so I don't know.
It works for, I think, again, different times in your life, that rotating schedule in this, because I also feel like I'll drive home from work and I'm like, I'm in the mood for this now. Whatever I want to. I'm like,
That's
so
so
I'm going to
true.
drop in at the store, but you can't always do that when things happen or you're busy. But I like that better.
I'm definitely. I do that to myself all the time.
I'm just like, my taste buds want this.
Sometimes I'll wake up already in the mood for something for that night.
Yeah.
And it just stays with me all day. Yeah.
I'm like, forget whatever I said.
So it's tough to plan out like
I have way too much of an emotional connection to my food.
Oh, yeah.
Because as I'm planning it
100%.
out, if I'm not like,
100%.
oh, I want to eat that this week, or if I feel like it's a really tedious meal to cook, I just can't bring myself to do it.
Yep. I'm
And
like,
so then
too
I'm
much
like,
chopping.
yeah.
Nope, not doing it. It's a one pot meal.
Okay, well maybe we are gonna make that whole topic.
Yeah.
that would be fantastic.
We'll get to that.
That would truly benefit my life.
Yeah.
Let's
I wouldn't say I
dive in.
did great on any of these. I would say the water intake, basically a fail. Yeah, so it's going to be a real, if you watched our recent budget wheel challenge where I got the water challenge, we'll see if I do any better for that. Maybe because it's like that's the only thing in that challenge.
Yeah.
Then it's either like I'm doing it or I'm not.
Yeah.
So, but this kind of, that kind of was the one that just kept getting pushed off and then didn't happen. I would say the stretching one I did like 60% of the time.
Okay.
To be really fair, this was supposed to be a 1 week challenge, but we had a couple of weeks where we
Yes.
could pick a week in between. And I had several like false starts
Yeah.
where I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm going to get ahead of things and I'm not going to wait until the last week I have. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to do
Yeah.
it now. And so I would like start for a day or two and then stop. And then like again,
just do it next week.
start for a day or
Yeah.
two and be like, oh, I'll just do it next week. So
If you combine all of those weeks together.
yeah, because when you're saying like 60% of 1 week, like that's not a lot, but I'm really saying like 60% of like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Where I stretch. It wasn't always in the morning.
Okay.
Sometimes it was like before bed or whatever, and it was really my body dictating the priority of that. Like,
Okay.
you hurt, so you should stretch.
You need to do this.
Before you do something else. So, I think that has a habit been made there of doing it in a routine? No, but I'm like, this doesn't take that much time and it does benefit me. So I'll do it more often. I would say the other ones I kind of grouped almost all together. Even though they were 3 separate things, they were all happening at the same time and in the same space. So I would say most nights I did like, I don't know if there was ever a night where I did like maybe 1 or 2. I did all 3, but otherwise it was like maybe I did 1, or maybe I did 2 out of
Yeah.
the 3.
Yeah.
And I think probably the putting away of all of like the clothes, shoes, like that kind of stuff was the most beneficial.
Okay.
Because then you're just waking up to less clutter. It doesn't stack up, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't even see my floor, and it's only been 3 days worth of stuff. Getting my husband to also participate in that would be great, because then both sides of the bedroom, that might be asking for a lot. But so my husband recently was listening to our episode. We were talking about the 5 steps we were going to do, and he comes out, he's like, I don't think I've seen you do any of these.
Called out. I've never been more grateful for my husband to not watch.
Yeah.
I was like, calm down, okay?
Yeah.
I'm definitely doing at least 1.
And it's not when you can see me.
I definitely told Audie, I was like, you see that sink? It's been clean like how many nights in a row? He's like, yeah, I'll believe it when it's more consistent though. I was like,
wow.
I was like, just because it's a challenge doesn't mean that it's not. It doesn't mean
Yeah,
anything.
they have to give the like affirmation if they want it to continue.
Right?
The one
So
night
true.
I didn't get to stretch earlier in the day, so it was like before bed, and we'll usually watch TV. And so Miles is in bed, and he's like, "What are you doing down there on the floor?"
Like, I have to do my stretches.
Stretching. I'm just stretching. But I don't think he knew about the routine thing.
That's
at that
really
point.
funny.
So,
It's like, what are you doing?
yeah. I don't have a routine. I'm never going to be a routine person. I think I've learned in a lot of these challenges, whether it was like us going shopping and trying to apply that stuff, whether it's this stuff, is that saying like, these are the 5 steps to do or whatever, it sounds good,
Right.
but it's
Right.
just not realistic to
Yeah.
adapt or adopt
Yeah.
5 new things into your life. Like,
Yeah.
you'll be lucky if you spend 3 months focusing on one thing and making it a habit.
Yeah.
Well, it takes like, isn't it something? I thought like 90 days to form a new habit, and or something like that, and like 60 days to break an old. Like,
Yeah.
it's a long time for
It's a lot
one
of work.
thing.
It's a lot of work.
Not
Yeah.
for everything.
So I think that maybe I feel motivated to like choose one small thing
Okay.
Right.
that maybe I can actually
Yeah.
see progress
Okay.
in, rather than being like, well, if I can't do all 5, that's
my problem.
I just won't do any of them.
Yeah.
type
I'm
of thing.
very much all or nothing with that stuff, which is definitely a character flaw. Did you list all yours?
Yep.
She groups them at the end. So moving on.
3 in 1.
All right.
It'd be too much to like really dig into all of the failures. there.
Yeah. So me becoming a morning person, that might take 90 days. That might take 90 years. Like,
just not there.
It's not that I'm not a morning person. It's we've talked about this. When my feet hit the floor, I'm good. the process of waking up is very difficult for me for whatever reason. It's not for whatever. It's because I go to bed at 1 a.m. and 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But it was so hard for me to break it because I truly get this weird creative like jolt and productivity jolt
At night.
at 10 p.m.
Right.
Yeah.
And I could say to myself, okay, I will work for 1 hour and then go to bed. But then I'm in a groove.
I know.
And it takes me sometimes an hour just to like kind of organize all my thoughts.
Right.
And then by that time I'm like in it. So then we're like 2 hours later, 3 hours later. And that happened almost every single night. I think I was able to be downstairs and working before Thomas maybe two mornings.
Well, what was your motivation in that? Was it because you wanted to not be working at night, or you just think it's better to be a morning person?
No, I know that I can't sustain that long term. I can't.
So you're trying to change
I'm
something
trying
now,
to
yeah.
change now so that when I do need to be a morning person for whatever the reason, bringing the kids to school or for them, that won't be such a life change that I really will be able to. So I think I underestimated rather how difficult it would be to just flip the switch. But the problem is the night before because I'm working so late, and that's nobody's fault but my own. But that's kind of when. And it's another thing too that I know no one, because I work from home, I know in my head no one else is emailing me right now. And you know this about me too. I'm 100% focused on this one thing.
Right.
So when I'm being distracted by emails and calls and text messages, I do not feel productive at all. But when I know the world is sleeping and I'm awake doing my thing, I just get so much done.
Right.
So that's something I will definitely. I've learned. Maybe I didn't do the challenge, but I learned a lot about myself, so that will help me for the next time.
Avery didn't become a morning person until she started kindergarten. So you just need to wait for the right moment.
I also never really did kindergarten normally, so maybe that's the problem. Right. Maybe I need to go back to kindergarten.
So, and you will.
Yeah, literally. So, okay. That, and then my best one was I did. I nailed it because it was 1 week. Tuesday laundry, Thursday vacuum, and Saturday bathroom. And that was easy for me because being in the new place, I like look forward to doing chores right now. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but I love having a laundry machine. Never had that before. That just makes me super happy. Vacuuming, same thing. Like I'm just like I have so much space to vacuum.
Let's go everywhere.
And the bathroom, I just enjoy keeping it clean because we bought a bunch of like newer stuff for it. So that was super easy for me. Hopefully that will keep itself up.
Putting the bathrooms on Saturday, though.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's rough. It's like you're supposed to look forward to the weekend, and I'd be like, no thanks.
You're like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I grew up with my mom always doing that on Saturday, so that's kind of ingrained in my head that that's when you do it. If she wasn't like that or didn't expect me to do that or help with that, I would be like, you're crazy, you're shot. I'm not doing that. But that's kind of always been in my head.
I kind of wonder about that a lot of like, things that you learn or take on from your parents.
Yeah.
And I'm always concerned my kids are going to become adults and be like, I don't know, I never saw my mom clean the house. Is that something I'm supposed to do?
That's what you do as an adult?
Like, I don't know. I definitely saw her run around like a crazy person when company was coming, but that's it. We didn't have any like, oh, it's time to clean now.
No, I think the norm is people. Well, that's who I am too. Like right before people come over, like go crazy, and I'm like, I don't want to be that person that's going crazy. Like I just want to be like, oh, my house is ready to go. So that's really the goal. That was the motivation for it. Walking, no good.
Well, we've had, to be fair,
We've had terrible weather.
The worst spring ever.
It has been rainy, so much rain all day, every day, and I've just wanted to, and I haven't been able to do it. And when at this point, the walking pad is depressing me, so I'm like, I don't want to do anything, so I'd rather just lay there and be miserable.
Just fair there. Okay.
So I have to. I mean, I'm going to Europe soon and I'm going to be walking a lot. So I need to get into that. So Thomas and I both will be walking
Trust
a lot more.
me, the gelato is so motivating.
And encourage you to walk.
You're just like, I just have to make it another half mile.
Yeah, we'll be good
There's
to go.
gelato
So
waiting
I'm
for me.
reward.
I'm only slightly concerned about that. But I'm sure that will start soon as we get more warm weather, which it's coming. And then reading one chapter of a book, I actually did pretty good with this. I'll give myself like a 70% on
Nice.
this.
Okay.
But some days we're just too like no breaks today. We're just going. So that's kind of normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the days I did do it, it was great. And I'll give myself a 0% on the gratitude journal. I never
what?
even thought about it at night. And I would think about it during the day, like,
Yeah.
oh, I forgot to do that last night. I got to do it today. By the time I was in bed,
Yep.
it wasn't like, oh, I don't want to. It was
You forgot
gone.
about it, yeah.
And that I think is
That was like
because
making the bed.
I think that's because I have created such a bad habit in the opposite way of like, let me just put something on my phone, put it in my ears and help me go to sleep. Because I know that that's such a crutch for me to have something playing in my ears to go to sleep to that. And I know, and I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. So I'm not thinking like, oh, let me do something else that's like fun or do something that like will put my mind. I'm like, out of necessity, I need to find something to listen to. I need to put it in so that I can go to sleep. And it's so not on my mind to do anything else. So that was eye-opening. I thought that would be the easiest one. And that would be like the,
Yeah.
it probably is the easiest one. And
Yeah.
I was just not even on my mind.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed in myself for not doing that.
And maybe that's also but just something that you've learned about yourself that, you know, the before bed is not going to be your time to
do those things.
to do something new or add it in. Maybe
Right.
it's just going to be like you have a note on your phone and it's going to be like whenever you think of it,
Yeah.
even if it's not an everyday thing, maybe you'll end up doing it, 10 times a month.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's better than not doing it and just
Right.
like in the moment do it.
Yeah.
Do it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that will just work
point.
better
So
for
overall,
you.
feeling kind of crappy, but hoping
What
that it
did you
leads
say at the beginning? I said shame, and you
Yeah.
said what did you say?
resentment.
Resentment. So yeah, super suggest doing this, guys.
Try it out.
Yeah, I'm curious if any of you decided to do a routine along with us. Although I don't know what after we did our closet survey, where everyone was like, "My closet's perfect."
My closet's
Yeah,
perfect.
always like,
supportive.
well, okay.
My closet's perfect isn't yours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
and
kind
you're
of what
like-
I
You
read.
guys are
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I have a 42-step routine that I follow every single day, and you're just better than us. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
my skincare routine, on point. On point.
yeah, I'll never
Okay,
get there
we're not
either.
doing that.
But
Joy.
that's the only place that I could boast.
You live in that. That's
That's
it.
where it begins and ends. So, yeah.
Yeah, not for me. But if you did decide to add anything to your routine or try it out, let us know how
Let
you're
us
feeling
know.
about it, how much shame or resentment you're
Yeah.
feeling
None.
about it. Hopefully it went
positive.
great for you. It went great for you.
Sort of.
But thanks for joining us for a little update. We
Our
have
wrap-up week.
Yes, more to come on our wrap up week. I'm actually, I think most excited for tomorrow. So it'll be good.
We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Bright and early. And don't forget to enjoy the view wherever your ride takes you.